Hello Globalers, and welcome to another video with me, Umber Rays, and no doubt you guys have had a busy week the last week doing Final Fantasy X stuff, there was Dig's stream, which was awesome. If you didn't see that Dr. Dig stream, go watch the archive thing on his Twitch, Twitch/Dr. Diggs. Search it on YouTube, or not on YouTube, Google. You can find it. I'm sure that all of you watching are quite capable. All right, so this week in Global, the Yuna hype should be dying down. People who are still building Yuna and some crazy people who are already done Yuna. Obviously, Global is definitely at this point more generous than JP was at its 1-year anniversary. And yes, that is kind of the consensus amongst JP players. But hey, we're not going to hate on our global players. Let's take a look at what you got. So first of all, obviously, Auron is one of the big things this week. Swordsman who defies the spiral of death. What a cool title. And Auron is the hottest ice unit around. Probably should have been fire, but did end up being ice. We're not going to hold that against him. Another ice limited. But hey, there's a lot of limiteds and double cost units in the future. So there you go. Anyway, Limit Burst Tornado raises own defense pierce rate for 3 turns, deals non-elemental damage. Targets within range. God Killer, which destroys any barrier and reduces physical damage on target, and then deals medium damage. And Banishing Blade deals 2 hit damage to the target and a guaranteed hit. Okay, so a lot of people always think I dump on Auron or don't give Auron enough attention. You're right. I do think that overall Yuna is just more valuable in the future given some of the content that I have fought, but that's not to say Auron is bad. I have gone up against Auron. He is a very tough unit. He is a strong unit for sure. I think that his mix of jobs is really good. It's just, I mean, personally, I haven't had a ton of experience using him because I didn't get him back at the time. It was just not feasible trying to build what I even currently had. I didn't even get Titus done. And yes, I know some people want me to call him Titus, so let's call him Jet's father from now on. Or Jet's son, sorry. Jet's father. Getting all confused. Anyway, so taking a look at Jet's son, he was one of the units that I wanted to build more than Auron, and I just didn't want to go into the gacha again. It already felt like kind of a weird enough anniversary with the banner problems and whatnot. If you remember that, that was a big thing back then. In all honesty, I hold no grudge against Auron, and if people want to get Auron, he's great. He can pair well. Laswell, if you have Laswell, that's a great unit to pair him with. Agrius as well. I mean, I didn't have to say all the great characters that this guy could be paired with to do very well. Obviously, with UR Mont coming in the future, that's a little bit more of a stumbling block for him as a character, because obviously Ice, he will not have the greatest advantage against him, and some of his attacks may fall kind of flat, but he's a strong character, and I don't think that... I don't want to say he's bad by any means. If you get him and you raise him to 120, you'll be quite happy with his performance. I just think Yuna is a little more universally applicable to future content, because healing is something you need in a lot of content in the future, and potentially status effect protection as well. As lately on the JP side, people are dumping a lot of Marlboros in trials that teleport in and they get an instant attack, and then you know you have all these status effects because they all are charged with ready to go bad breath. Rough, but de la vie. Anyway, Auron is a plenty strong unit. I just think that I put more of a focus on Yuna because I value Yuna a little bit more with what the game has to come. Now, something I have not given enough attention to is vision cards and sorry. Let's just make it real big for a second. Suteki Dane is a there we go. Alright, is a wonderful vision card, and anybody who is thinking of using Titus, I think, should definitely get this vision card. It is one of the things that makes Titus a much more capable damage dealer, and just a really, really strong a much stronger unit. Because you're looking at party-wise, you know, unlocks at max level, water units are getting max HP up, and you're getting slash attack up, critical hit rate up, so there's different units that can use this, and it can pair well with a water party. And Titus as well is getting defense piercing rate up and accuracy up, so Titus stands to benefit the biggest from this card. And its partner card, just to shrink this back down again for a second, there we go. Place unknown, missile resistance up, as well as dexterity up, accuracy up, with the bestowed effective agility. Both of these vision cards pair well with water units, and are basically, if you're any kind of fan of whatever water units you have, they are good vision cards to get. But especially if you really want to make the most use out of Titus, I think that Titus Jetson, even I'm not ready for it yet. I think that, you know, Winter Ramada is obviously a big unit to get put in there. And who's to say that there won't be future water swords as well? So, yeah, I personally think that both vision cards are solid gets. One of them you get for free, essentially, and the other one, the UR quality one, you can get just from about 10k on the step up. If you've been going with Titus and Titus Jetson, let's just name all three all at once just to make this video way more fun. All of these, this is just a absolutely solid vision card. And speak from my own JP experiences, it's not a vision card that I overly appreciated at the time, partially because I figured, well, 10 will probably come back sometime in the future where we'll have a good chance to get it. But it was a vision card that I skipped back then, and even with the, you know, the character shards I didn't have for Jetson, I just didn't quite feel it ready. And taking a look at the vision card here, well, obviously I didn't really go for this one either. So I feel like I did lose out a fair bit if I wanted to make this water sword character much better. I think everything on those cards speaks very well to him. If you, I would say, you know, if you're super short on Lapis because of the last few weeks, then don't worry about it. Just go maybe for the lower tier card. But, you know, if you could potentially somehow score that card because you are looking to use him into the future, it would be a good card to get. If you're only focused on Yuna and you don't really care about water swordy blitzbally boy, then it's probably not super important that you do it, because if you're just not spending the resources there, or you don't have to spend the resources, well, the vision cards are probably not going to persuade you to pull them because they don't have a ton of applicability even currently on the JP side, and we just haven't seen a lot of water units that would take advantage of it. Obviously, one of the more recent ones on the JP side of Mua is, well, a bit more of a magey character, so she's not going to get a ton out of that. So, I mean, and of course, if I guess I should mention, I mean, you'd be doing, so, shameless promotion of those vision cards. I mean, if you, even if you didn't want, you know, blitzbally, swordy, jet, sunny boy, you'd be doing a major disservice to this character if you didn't get both of those vision cards and maxed. I mean, honestly, how could you even call yourself a Zazen fan? I mean, I hear that a ton of people voted for him on Global, but you won't get the cards to make him way better? Might be time to turn in your Wotv account if you don't max both of these brand new Final Fantasy X vision cards. Not for that guy that I keep mentioning, but for this guy. And just for a note, I didn't actually think about this before I started recording this video. This came as a spur of the moment thing. So anyway, that's all for this video. Take care. See you next time.